We have achieved a feat like no other group of guys that decided that the pandemic was a good time to start recording our thoughts, our feelings, and very correct takes on any and all types of topics on a weekly basis. We went on and on about cookies. We picked fantasy dates and celebrity cabinets. We talked movies often. We played dictator with exacting executive orders. We even had some guests, you guys. Week in, week out. We left it all over the mic to serve you guys, the fans. Well, okay, we did for ourselves first, but that's, but then, and then to mine our friends' lives for ideas. But third, oh, buddy boy, third was you guys, the Über Cinkies, the Lister Magoos, Bear Den Nation. Every week, you watched and listened to us cook up scheme after scheme after scheme to quit in glory or kill the mood or just annoy the shit out of our sibling. We've done so much. We've come real far. We've traveled 100 episodes. We've ran the race, opened the jar, rode the rails, got sweaty in the arena, and so, but therefore, thus, and because of it all, we must inform you, the listeners, that you gotta listen to more! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We ain't going nowhere, party people! So get those list-scoring pencils out and ride along with us as we get in the episode 100 rocket ship and blow ourselves to the moon. Today, the contestants are listing off their top 5 favorite weekly rituals. Oh, that sounds good. One ritual I love is doing this show and teaching Bear Den Nation about things like, like exactly how to make a nutritious, delicious homemade dog biscuit, which brings us to our first ad break. Brinkerdo's all-natural dog biscuits, designed right here in the heart of the Windy City, manufactured in Indiana. Brinkerdo's all-natural dog biscuits have been developed by a palate like no other, and your dog will woof once they get a whiff of Brinkerdo's. Good enough for you, even better for your dog. Thank you. For when Fido needs better poo, pack his mouth with Brinkerdo's. All right, I'm your host, Mitch Brinkman, and today we've reached the mountaintop, you guys. The century mark, the big 100. I've got the 2 golden gods of top 5 lists here today. Oh, he hates that I don't really care for a Snickers bar. It's Brian Ernst. Hello, boy.
Hi. I am dressed as my self today in a shirt that won't button, a backwards hat, and something a little out of character today. I will be double fisting Bud Light Limes.
Oh my God. Bud Light Lime, a new sponsor for Über Cinco. Bud Light Lime. It's such a joke. Say it, Bud Light Lime. Okay, great. I started the show just before we got on camera with one shot of 100 proof Old Forester. So that was my little jet fuel today to start. Nathan, do you have anything over there with you?
I am drinking vitamin water.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the rocket fuel of morning guys.
Sugar version.
Lemonade. so it's got less flavor. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
it's almost water. Almost water.
All right, that voice you heard, he's the next contestant. I shared a dorm room with him freshman year, and we used to see eye to eye on a lot of things. And then he got lifts. It's the slightly taller Nathan Hennenfent. Welcome, guy.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, these 2 guys are going to be battling today. And Brian, I was thinking back about this. It's been mainly us 3 every week on this show, but we've had other people on. I'm trying to think if we've had my brother on. We've had who else?
Conti
came on.
My sister was a guest judge once.
Oh, that's right. And thank you to our new liquor sponsor, Sisters Beer and Spirits on Route 59 in downtown Elbow Lake, Minnesota. If you hit the lake, you've gone too far. Sisters Beer and Spirits, fueling the good times at home since 1993. Thank you for leading me right into that, Brian. I appreciate that so much.
No problem.
That's enough for contestant chat. Let's remind all the listeners to head on over to bizbear.biz. Send us your suggestions. Send us your questions. Leave us a voicemail. You, too, can interact with the show. Wow, that sounds nice. Okay, you guys know how the game works. They're going to give their top 5 list. I'm going to score them. Whoever has the most points at the end of the day takes home the trophy. Now, at the end of the show, stick around, because I'm doing my Fast 5 top 5 things I've learned from Über Cinco. Wow, educational. Very nice. House rule, of course, too. Every week we have a house rule. My house rule this week will be some fun. Is it a lie or is it a truth? 5 bonus points to each contestant that can figure out whether my statements are lies or truths. So thank you very much. Man, that feels good just to have a crowd laughing at you. Okay, how do I choose the first player today? Let's break it down here. Nathan, you're taller, but Brian, you got more facial hair. And Nathan, you're older, but Brian, you're shorter. You both like to wear shorts. You've both been to Wisconsin like a bunch of times. But Nathan has eaten at Al Johnson's Goat Restaurant. So
That's right.
in Door County, Nathan, because of that, you're going to lead us off with your number 5 weekly ritual you look forward to. Give it to us, my man.
I've said it before, but it always bears repeating. Mm-hmm. If you ever get the chance to eat with goats 10 feet above your head, you got to do it.
It's just, it's good. It's so good.
But my number 5 weekly ritual is I'm going to take you back to my childhood, the 1990s. And it's simple enough. Sunday night pizza, which was in particular, this was every single Sunday night, the endless summer of childhood. Mm-hmm. Casey's Pizza from a gas station.
I've had Casey's Pizza before.
Pizza. Now, Casey's Pizza also was one of the pioneers of the taco pizza. So you could get the taco pizza, which is basically with Doritos on it and taco sauce, but one of the Midwest true culinary delicacies. Sour cream too, right? That was optional.
Okay.
You'd have to buy that from the dairy section at the gas station.
Oh, okay. I'll take a pound of worms for lure, sour cream, and a pizza. Thank you very much.
That was how it worked. And this was my family. We would do this every single Sunday, and of course, 7:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. The Simpsons would be on, so you'd catch a lot of The Simpsons. But that wasn't my favorite show to watch on a Sunday night pizza. That was, of course, the beautiful vocal tones of Marv Albert, the pulsating rhythms of John Tesh's Round Ball Rock, the NBA on NBC, because every Sunday night for about 10 straight years, the Chicago Bulls would win the NBA championship. Every week they won 500 championships. There was one week in 94 when Jordan was playing baseball. But other than that, if I remember it right, it was just week after week after week was another NBA championship. Just rolling them, just one after another, after another, after another. Yeah.
Your parents failed to describe to you what a full season was. It sounds like, that's it. They won it again, bud. 10 games, championship. Put a ring on it.
Take them out of the room while we rewind the tape.
We would have parties every time they won the championship. My sister and I would print off all these big signs we would make. We would make poster boards. We would hold them up like we were at the game.
What would the sign say? Like, Michael, adopt me or something like that.
Send help.
I believe they often had the sentiment of "Go Bulls" on them.
Classic cheer.
Apparently, something berating the New York Knicks or whoever they might be winning the championship again that week.
Sure. John Starks is short. Maybe something like that. Yeah.
Take that, Starks.
He was so short. He was 6'3".
Benny, send the shirts up here.
Nathan, I am also a huge fan of this ritual. My family did the exact same thing, but we did Friday nights. It was Friday night. You go to the Blockbuster and you go to the Blockbuster man. You say, give me a good movie, give me 2 good video games. And then you go next door to the pizza pie place. You get that and you go home. And we watched X-Files with our pizza early on in my childhood. Ooh. That was when it was still on Friday nights. Moved to Sunday nights post Simpsons. If you guys remember that.
What a lineup.
What a lineup. Man, was it King of the Hill? Simpsons?
I was trying to remember what night of the week was Home Improvement on?
Thursdays.
That feels like a Thursday show.
Yeah, that was Thursdays.
Watched a lot of that in the 90s too.
Yeah, also very good. Nathan, tell us about your. I've had Casey's Pizza before, and as a highfalutin, foodie shithead, quite good actually for gas station pizza. I'll say that. What was your order every week? What was the Hennenfent family pie?
Well, for myself, it would be sausage and pepperoni.
Oh,
and then
that's good.
My
Double
sister
meat,
was a fan of the black olives.
Yes, Laurel, shout out. Love the black olive. That saltiness paired with more saltiness, honestly, from the meat. Very, very good combo. Love this.
This was also, we would get it every week because then you would save the side of the pizza box, and it was after you had 10 pizza boxes, then you got a free pie.
Holy cow. So did you get one pizza a week, or was it 2 pizzas, and then every 10 weeks you got 3 pizzas?
It would be we would get 2 pizzas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
So it was every fifth time the Bulls won an NBA championship, you got a free one.
Oh, okay. There we go. Would you ever sneak to the kitchen in the middle of the night and grab a slice?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Cold Casey's pizza just right out of the fridge.
Oh,
tremendous.
Very good. I love that. Great number 5. Good for you, buddy. Love it. I'm going to give you, actually, I shouldn't tell you a score yet because I got to hear Brian's first. And I got to, it's got to be like a versus thing kind of.
Is that how this is played?
Yeah, a little bit. Brian, what's your number 5, Bro Jam?
I'm calling it the weekend fallacy. So this is where I spend all of my mental power on Fridays, figuring out how to get out of work early, but not coming up with a solution until 5 p.m.
Interesting.
This is a real problem that I have. So the mental gymnastics that I go through is that I sit there and I analyze, if I get this done by then, I could push that till Monday. But if I don't have to do that on Monday, I can just do it tomorrow, right? Saturday, but I'm not going to work on a Saturday. I'm not that kind of guy, right? And I look at my watch and it's 4:45 and I'm like, oh shit, what do? I guess that's Monday's problem, right? All of this is all about a task that could have taken me 5 minutes. If I just would have sat down and did it. But it's the principle of the matter that I cannot miss this ritual of having this unconscious cricket in the back of my brain just wrestling with my medulla oblongata,
I am always very jealous of the people who are like, well, I've just got 2 things on my to-do list and I'm going to knock them up by 10 and then I'll be done for the day. And you're like, what? You're not going to...
How do you not professionally procrastinate? How does that work?
Isn't there coffee and donuts to slurp and chomp on before you get to that? What's going on?
There is no type of person, archetype, to bring it back to our first episode, that I hate more than the person that does their homework early and then has to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you didn't write the paper? Like, I did that as soon as we got the assignment, so I don't have to worry about it. Fuck you, Toby. I don't give a shit about what you did early. And then he's like, well, I have all this time. I'm going to go to the movies. You want to go to the movies with me? No, fuck you. I'm not going to the movies with anybody named Toby. Like, come on.
Also, I've got a paper to write, so I can't go. I'm sorry.
Again, the principle is I don't want to go with you, but really I can't go because I got fucking homework. But we all know a Toby.
It's very true. Who's the Toby in our group here?
I think we're all Toby. Just kidding. None of us are Toby. None of us will ever do anything early, ever.
Hey, I showed up, basically on time today, which I did say I was going to be early, so I was late. So
you showed up 10 minutes after you said you were going to be. That is 45 minutes early for Mitch Brinkman.
That's why we always tell them the events are 2 hours later than what they are.
Nathan's had a heart attack. We got to take a quick break. They're going to take the defibrillator out, get him back on track, and it's all done.
Oh, good to be back.
He's healthy. Let's go.
You guys, these are very good number 5s. Brian, this is a ritual you look forward to, or it's just it happens every week and it dominates your psyche?
I didn't say I look forward to it. It's just a ritual that I have to do.
Are you also like you got to lick every light switch in the house and like turn the knobs on the stove too? Is this like
wait? You
one
guys
of those
don't go,
rituals?
You don't go 1, 2, 3, step out the house. You guys don't do that.
No, I keep the snakes and the ghosts away different with candles. That's my thing. So, yep,
got it.
Yep.
Perfect.
Which Nathan can't do. Because he's afraid of candles.
No, he cannot.
I just have to live with a ghost. Luckily, I'm not afraid of ghosts. It's the one thing I'm not afraid of.
Well, too bad I'm very religious, so I'm afraid of spirits. So, okay, I'm going to screw you guys out here. No one can hate pizza, right? Pizza it's no longer Italy's. It's America's now, baby. Okay? Pizza is number 1. Pizza. We all love it. Pizza. pizza. Okay, 3 points for Nathan. And Brian, I get this dance, but also I'm one who can be like, you know what, it's not getting done today, and I just wipe it from my brain. Monday we'll worry about it. I'm giving you 2 points there. So
that's fine.
Let's go on. You're supposed to be mad. You're supposed to be steamed up. Oh, you see, now I'm mad. You're not mad.
I know when I've earned what I've earned.
Okay. I just thought you were pulling my strings on purpose. So, number 4s. Nathan, you're up again. Back to you, buddy. What is it? Number 4.
Number 4. This is something I do every Sunday morning. Is Breakfast with the Beatles on Chicago's very own 93 XRT, hosted by the delightful Terry Hemmert. Terry Hemmert is like 76 years old. She's been at XRT since the 70s, and she is just the sweetest lady. And she has a very conversational way of talking into the microphone. Feels like she's talking directly to you, like she's an old friend. That's sort of the relationship she has with the city of Chicago and the listeners. And this lady loves the Beatles more than any other music fan has loved any other band. She loves them. And the enthusiasm is just contagious. And it's 2 hours of excellent music. You get the Beatles, you get all their solo work, and people covering the Beatles or something tangential. And then this is kind of adorable. For each of their birthdays, she does a whole episode every year of, like, if it's George's birthday week, it's all George, and likewise for the other 4. And she promotes other like local artists, and it's just the sweetest, most wholesome way to drive around on a Sunday morning. It's just I genuinely look forward to it every single week.
I want to poke fun, and I want to say, like, oh, who are the Beatles? Are they any good? But everyone knows who the Beatles are, so that joke's not going to land. And I've met Terry before too. I've gotten a hug from her. She is very sweet. But
this is the first time I've ever heard her name in my entire life.
Really?
It surprises me.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
She is a local legend.
I know.
Did your family listen to B96 your whole childhood, Brian?
No, we never. I hate my parents wouldn't let me listen to B96.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the things. They were like, no, you're going to listen to something good. We're putting on The Loop or Q101. We're not fucking listening to B96.
That's interesting because I feel like XRT is quote unquote better than The Loop or Q101.
It probably is. I think we were definitely The Loop growing up. Like, that's what I remember the most.
And The Loop is like your Sheryl Crow's, your Bare Naked Ladies, like that kind of thing.
I know that's more like just
Twain's.
More like classic versus like modern rock, a little bit of alternative. There was definitely when Kiss came out, that was the big one because it was like the hits from the 80s and 90s till now. That like was the Kiss, big one.
And then like Nickelback or whatever it was, or from the 2000s.
Basically, what my dad wanted us always to listen to, whatever Pandora suggests for you. He still uses Pandora Internet Radio on his Bluetooth speaker because it's too frustrating for him to make playlists in Apple Music or Spotify. He just wants to click a button and do it for him, just like the radio used to. And I even paid for like a year or something for him to not have ads. And he like didn't re-up. He's like, no, I need the ad. That's the break. That's when I get up and go get a beer. Or stop the lawnmower for a second. I was like, oh my God, you are such a creature of habit. I just want radio.
That is one of the things I enjoy about this Breakfast with the Beatles thing is, well, first of all, Terry Hemmert is semi-retired. So this is usually the only time she's on the radio anymore. And also there is something kind of quaint and comforting about an old-fashioned radio program with commercials and having somebody else who's an expert on one of your favorite artists curate a list for you. So, I mean, I can go listen to the Beatles anytime. I can listen to any one of their songs within a second, but it's kind of nice. It's like a friend making me a mixtape every week
of the same music all the time.
they had quite a prolific recording career. So
I agree, but I think that would drive me insane if I had a friend delivering me a mixtape. Listening to it on the radio, I get. But if I actually had a friend that brought me a mixtape of only a certain band every week, I'd be like, you need to go to a mental institution, okay?
Every Saturday morning, flap, flap, flap. Hello? Hi, I brought you another Beatles mixtape. Here you go.
In like a little envelope in a pouch. Like, here, I want to watch you open it.
This one's just for you, Brian. Again, another
Did you
week.
know it's John's birthday this week? Here's 7 packages. Yeah, the charm of the radio is a lot better.
Yes, yeah. The Beatles were a band for 6 years. And, right? 6 years?
Sounds about
more
right.
like 8.
Was it 8 years? Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
8 years.
8 years. Oof.
They're from England.
I've heard that,
true.
yes.
And they're from Liverpool.
The town that has the best
There we go.
Football team of all time, correct?
That's not true.
Oh, that's what I hear.
I hear
it's better than like
you don't know anything about
Man
sports,
U or-
which you've yelled at. You've yelled on this podcast. You know Darren Rose of the old Bulls.
Yeah, that's true.
Darren Rose.
Almost, if I would have found it, I would have worn nothing but my Jay Williams jersey today, but I didn't because I don't know where it is, and it's probably a child's large.
On to Brian's number 4. Brian, give it to me.
All right, number 4. I'm calling the Allure Lure. All right. Now, this is something that's very hard for me to talk about because I've never revealed this on this show. Nathan knows what I'm talking about. Wait till I get to the bottom of this. Now, I spend about 5 days a week prepping meats and setting traps. And I got a lot of traps. All right. Snares, spring-loaded, stick-supporting rocks, all the classic stuff I put around the perimeter of my property line to attract all the neighborhood animals, pets, wild, whatever. Now, once I have trapped all the beasts, I separate them into 2 boxes, all right? Profit and sacrifice. Now, the profit ones I sell into trafficking, dog shows, commercial dog actors, anything that'll get me a kit back of at least 10%. Now, the other ones I sacrifice, okay? I take this box to the woods, and because I go and cut them on a rock, and give them up to the blood gods to make sure the next week comes. So my weekly ritual is an actually ritual for the weeks. Now, this one's tough because honestly, I'm running out of critters. There's not a lot of stuff around here anymore. And my neighbors can't keep replacing all these pets. Their budget is exhausted, which is totally understandable. But the world can thank me for each week. All right. I'm joking. I need a sip of Bud Light Lime.
Bud Light Lime. Thank you, Bud Light Lime.
But the world can thank me each week they have going forward because without me, this existence would be no picnic. All right. Because I'm sacrificing each one of these little necks with my knife, slit, boom, blood, God, here we go. So if anyone has any pets they need rubbed out, send them to Nathan. All right. He makes sure they always come to me. Yep. He's complicit in all of this. I just want to make sure that is absolutely clear.
Wait a minute.
Nathan, do you have any comment? Because, it's been a long time. You and I have been ride or dying on this.
I feel like I should be in contact with my attorney.
Let's get George on the line. Here we go, George Hennenfent.
As everybody knows, Über Cinco is written in ink. So that is what happens. But my true number 4 is jumping through hoops to see how I can shock my challenger each week on this show. And guess what? From 100 on, it's only going to get worse from here.
I do think we've learned from the show that we should probably just do a little bit more murder or, some more crime. I think we have the schemes. We have the darkness in our souls. We should just go for it.
We need to create crimes, produce murder. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I love that. Brian, I almost lost the bile out of my throat when you said go kill him on the rock. That was very nice. So, delivered straight to the blood gods. This is so good. For you're getting 3 points because Nathan's face went red with laughing and he didn't know what to say, where to turn, or whether or not he should spit. So,
which was the entire purpose of number 4. So I am so glad I have earned my points.
So good. You earned it very well. You're getting 3 points on this one. Nathan, there's one thing I hate more than anything in this world, and that's commercials. And that's why I DVR all my basketball games and speed through them. So I can't give you 3 points on account of the commercials. But, the Beatles are pretty good. Not the best British band ever, but pretty good. And so I'm going to make it spicy, actually. I'm going to give you 1 point on this one. Yeah, 1 point for you. So
heating up in here, folks.
Tables have turned, but we're going to go back to you, Nathan, for your number 3. Let's hope you get 3 points for this one. Yeah.
All right. This number 3, this is what I call the 6 a.m. Boddington's pint mustache.
Oh, yes. Sorry. That was a big reaction.
This would happen at usually the Globe Pub at 6 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday, watching Manchester United alongside our host, Mitch.
Yes.
Now, we used to do this quite often, like between the years of, say, 2009 to maybe 2014, 15. That was a stretch where we would do this quite often. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, if you really want to ruin a day, have your first beer at 6 a.m. That shuts it down. The game starts, you have a few beers, you have a few more, you eat the Irish or English breakfast, depending on what pub you're at. We would walk outside.
Beans and toast.
We would walk outside into the sunlight, and we would often say, wow, what a beautiful day to go right back inside and play FIFA. And the whole day would just be gone. But the best part was always I would be enthralled by the TV, and I would just be locked in on the game. And then Mitch would ask a very serious question, and I would turn to look at him, and he would have the biggest, foamiest mustache with his just complete straight face. And it got me every single time. So
Nathan,
I've
been before. Audited by the IRS. I need a tax attorney. Do you know any? And you're like, what?
If one day I can combine being on the receiving end of the Mitch Brinkman Boddington's mustache gag while goats are 10 feet above my head, that would just complete the whole experience.
It's Wisconsin. This Wisconsin. Boddington's is not allowed in Wisconsin.
Well, I'm happy to tell you we're headed to Door County. That's the episode 100 prize. Woo! Very nice. Yeah, if you ever wake up in the morning and you think, man, I'd love to absolutely require a nap by noon, drink a beer at 6 a.m. That's like the great way to do it. I don't appreciate the rim shot. I really don't. I don't, I know it was a bad joke. I told it. I know. I said it. Okay. Someone take the soundboard away from this little bastard. Okay. This is wonderful. Because you're playing to the host here. You know how to tickle my fancies. You're pulling my strings. So you're getting. This is an unprecedented one. I'm giving you 4 points. I'm going to score you up before I even go to Brian.
All right.
So,
what the?
Suck on that, wet boy. All right.
Now that's the new T-shirt we're going to start selling. Suck on that, wet boy. What the fuck's that from? No logo, no nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's from an 80s movie, I think. Right? Is that? Yeah.
Probably skiers.
This actually, Nathan, you mentioning watching sports together, this has triggered your house rule bonus question. So I've got 2 statements here. Okay. And I'm going to have you pick one by random order here. So did you want to go with selection A or selection B?
Selection A, please.
Selection A. Okay. Now, after I read this, you can ask questions. Brian, if you want to do a timer for a minute. Nathan, you can ask questions, find out more about this statement, and determine whether or not I am lying. If you are correct, you get 5 bonus points.
Ooh, okay.
So here we go. Okay. Here it goes. A. I once successfully ended a brawl on a bus by citing tax code.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the bus?
The bus was in a parking lot.
What parking lot?
It was a parking lot of the the DePaul, the Allstate Arena. That's what it is. The Allstate Arena
and
parking lot.
What tax code did you cite specifically?
I cited the individual income tax rate during this brawl.
Who was brawling?
I knew my friend Mike was in the brawl, but there was like a number. It was upperclassmen. I did not know their names, but we were sophomores, and I think they were juniors and seniors. There's a guy named Mike Talley. Was that his name? He was a senior He was a frat guy. That's what it was. He was a frat guy. He's a banker now, Mike Talley.
I think this is true. I'm going with true.
You're going with true? Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, that is correct. Everyone was yelling and punching each other. And I said, guys, just remember, we're all going to get taxed between 30 and 35%. So why fight? And they all went, what? And then I said, let's get some more beers. And then everyone stopped fighting. So that is a true thing that happened after a debilitating loss by the DePaul men's basketball team. So 5 points to Nathan. Good job on you. All right, here we go. We're going to Brian now for his number 3. Brian, lay it on me, my man.
All right. Well, this wet boy is calling number 3 the ratio. Oh. And no, I am not talking about the ratio of profit dogs to sacrificed ones. I am talking about my takeout order.
Oh,
now, do you ever get so hungry that you just start adding some apps, maybe an entree for you and the lady, then start perusing the dessert menu, and then you start seeing the Grubhub total just jump from $50 to $85 when the service fees and the tip are added, and you're like, "What? I'm not made of money. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I even pay for Grubhub Plus sometimes when I got a coupon, and I'm still no, I can't do this. So I'm sitting there. My weekly ritual is finding that delicate balance of cart to tip, I call it. Now, what can I take out without sacrificing the tip to leave us and the delivery driver satisfied? I'm looking out for everyone, I should say. Now, usually I take out an app, usually picking between crab rangoon and pot stickers. Which one's sticking?
Okay.
All right. We'll split a dessert. All right. I don't need 2 pieces of cake. We'll just, what's something we both want? Boom.
Are you ordering cake from a Thai place? You shouldn't be doing that.
This is multiple orders over time. This is an average, Mitchell.
Okay. Brian, put us in the situation. I need specifics or else I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Okay. Specificity. All right.
Yes.
Are we looking, what kind of desserts do you get from a Thai place? They don't have desserts.
That's why I thought you were ordering cake from a Thai place. And I was like, what are you doing?
No, it's from the Italian place. Get it together.
Okay.
All right. They have good tiramisu. Sometimes love a New York style cheesecake.
Okay.
All right. I'm just talking about my favorite appetizers. My favorite entrees usually are of Asian descent. All right.
Okay.
I love my crab rangoons. I love my noodles that usually come with shrimp is usually what I spring for. But as I'm doing this ratio thing, I got to scale that shrimp down to a beef. And if that doesn't go further enough, I'm going to go down to a chicken because I need to shave $1 here, shave $1 there. You know what's going on. It's tough work. All right. It's not as tough as blood worship, but it is pretty damn close. And this is the weekly ritual that I have to go through every week. Again, not something I look forward to.
Yep.
Not as much as I love getting those critters up on a rock, but I love sitting there and analyzing my cart to make sure that I'm not getting screwed. That's what I'm doing.
You know, in the age of delivery and apps, this is the new golden ratio. Forget about the perfect, the perfect dimensions of nature, naturally occurring rocks and shells and whatever the fuck the golden ratio is. Is that what it is? Or is it right?
It's called get them up on a rock.
Or is it like the golden ratio of man? Is that what it is? Like I don't know a bunch about science. I just know the term golden ratio. God damn it! And I think it sounds cool. And this is the new golden ratio,
bro. It's a seashell.
Yeah. So you pay, but you don't pay for Grubhub Plus because I was confused by that. Are you?
Well, sometimes it's like you can get Grubhub Plus for like free or whatever for a trial and just keep changing it. And keep getting just like LinkedIn Premium. If you just want to see what a job salary is for all, you say after the trial. Yeah. See what it is, and then you cancel that shit.
I see.
Same thing with Grubhub Plus. It's like if I know it's like shit, we're gonna be really busy this month. Fuck, I don't want to pay service fees and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I always tip, but I never want to pay service fees to Grubhub because fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. That's true.
Yeah.
I, as a Southwest Rapid Rewards card holder, I actually get a free Dash Pass every year, so that's pretty cool for me. So don't want to brag.
It doesn't work out
too much.
There's not a lot of good DoorDash. Like DoorDash in the suburbs is just fast food. Wendy's, McDonald's, all that shit.
Which shouldn't be delivered. Should not be delivered. It should be picked up from a window.
Same thing with Uber Eats. Like the first stuff that's on all that stuff out in the suburbs is like, what's closest to you? Well, yeah, I know Burger King's down the street. I don't want Burger King. I'm looking for a solid meal.
Yeah.
Maybe with some vegetables, Nathan. And that's all I'm just trying to do.
Hey, according to the government, French fries are veggies. Okay. I was at Burger King yesterday, actually. I got a little twist cone. It was the Burger King in the Pedway in the Millennium Station. Boy, is that a sad Burger King. There was a guy in the corner.
You've been to a Happy Burger King?
Well, that's a good point. Excellent point. There was a guy sitting at a table in the corner with just like all of his receipts out on the table, and then a plastic bag just plumb full of more plastic bags. And I almost was like, "Hey, bud, can I buy you a Whopper? Like, do you want well, I don't know what you're trying to figure out there with your receipts, but." It looked like
I've already bought 70 Whoppers this year. That's why I'm balancing my taxes. They are due tomorrow.
Oh, shout out to the IRS too. Love taxes. Those are good. Very, very nice. Brian, I just was so thrown by you ordering dessert from a Thai place. I can't come back from it.
I wasn't.
I know. Okay, fine. I'm gonna give you 2 points though. On this one.
Okay.
Which I hope you think is fair. If you don't, I'm the host. Screw off. But
fuck you.
Mentioning cars though and drive-ins, this actually triggers Brian's house rule bonus question. So here we go, Brian.
Oh,
here it is: truth or a lie? Do you want A or B?
I'm gonna go B for Brian.
Okay, here we go, Brian. Here is your statement. Determine whether or not it is a truth or a lie. Here we go. I've been to Noah's Ark Water Park in Wisconsin Dells over 20 times.
20 times.
20 times. Have you been to Noah's Ark before?
So I have never actually ever been to the Wisconsin Dells. I've driven through it, but I have never attended.
It's a good time. It's a real good time. Real salt of the earth place.
I kind of think it's equidistant as a destination from me and where you grew up.
Correct. Yeah, between Chicago and St. Paul.
It is probably a perfect little mid-ground. So it is conceivable to me that the amount of people that I know that could possibly have gone there as many times as that, I would say.
Do you have any more questions, or you just?
Yes, I think you have gone to Noah's Ark 20 times.
Oh, Brian, you should have asked more questions. You should have poked holes in my story, because that in fact was a lie. I'm so sorry. I do love water parks. I do love Noah's Ark. I have not been there 20 times. 20 times is a lot for America's largest water park. That's like going to Disney World, for people in the Midwest 20 times.
And I know people who have.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're the one person who knows people who go to Disney World all the time. That's true. Good point.
So,
all right. Well,
my average has a correlation, an outlier in my data that really does throw me for a loop. So sorry.
Well, I'm sorry about that. You didn't get the bonus points. We're gonna go back to Nathan now for his.
I don't need them.
Okay. Wow. I love that confidence. I love that. I love that brash attitude, and that's going to get you a bonus point. There you go. Get you that. Yeah. There you go. All right, Nathan, you're number 2. Give it to us, dude.
My number 2 was Champagne Thursday.
In the club or what?
Lasted for about 3 months in the spring of 2008 at DePaul. It started off me, our friend Lewis, my friend Andrew. It was a Thursday, and we decided we would each drink a bottle of champagne. So we did.
A bottle each?
Yes. And then the
How come
next
so
Thursday, well, that was how it started. So then the next week we decided to do it again, and some of Andrew's roommates were around, so they joined in. And then it just started snowballing, and it kept getting more and more people. And we did this at a building called Loftrite, which is just the ugliest building, just concrete slabs on these dorms. Just gross.
The walls don't go to the ceiling either, so you can hear everything.
It was terrible. But we kept, and you had to sign people in, and some people were underage, and so a classic college thing, and it kept getting more and more complicated.
Nathan's
girlfriend. Yep. We'll get to her in the story, and you'll see she was actually older than me. But we kept having more and more people come to this thing, and it was getting to the point where it was a little bit out of control, but I was really starting to get proud of it, because in some of my classes, I would hear people I didn't know their names, and I would overhear them say, "Hey, are you going to Champagne Thursday?" And I was like, I created that. And then my girlfriend Amanda, she was a senior. I was only a sophomore, and she was. I was walking with her and some of her friends, the really cool seniors from the music school. They came up and said, "Hey, have you heard about Champagne Thursday?" And I was like, "I am Champagne Thursday." And then people started to want to like bring kegs, like sneak kegs into. I don't know how they did this. They had like a wagon or something, and on the pretext of somebody moving, they got a keg into the dorm. And anyways, we
slip a cardboard box over it, tape it up, and then write like fragile on it. Boom, inside. Done.
H for Hornets.
Pop H on there.
But we started to lose control of Champagne Thursday, and a bunch of kind of D-baggy, bro-y kind of guys were starting to take over it. So what we did was we said, "Hey, can you guys have it at your apartment?" And it was the one where we really started to feel like it was going to get out of control, and it was. And the cops were called, and then all of these guys had to fall on their swords, and they got in huge trouble for Champagne Thursday, while the three of us who founded it just walked out of the building scot-free. And that was the end of Champagne Thursday, a glorious era of my social life in college.
That's like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What I love about this, too, is like I remember never getting an invite. So that was awesome. I don't think I ever went to a Champagne Thursday.
What's the length of time of Champagne Thursday? When did it start and when did it end? How long?
Yeah.
Oh, I misspoke. It would have been 2007, sophomore year. But yeah, I think it was like 10 to 12 weeks this happened.
A full trimester.
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah.
I mean, at DePaul, I mean, that's how we broke down our classes. That's like going through Champagne Thursday as a class.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think they actually have Champagne Thursday as a class offered for Freshman Explorer, where it's just come waste your money on a champagne class. Wow. This sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like I could have worn my turtleneck I have on today to Champagne Thursday. I think I would have fit right in.
You would have, absolutely.
On the first 82-degree day of the year, Mitch is wearing a turtleneck and blazer.
Well, you got to keep it classy for one hundo, for the century mark,
I'm so excited to turn on my air conditioning today, you guys. It's going to be so awesome.
House, go to 52, please. Thank you. Champagne Thursday. This is a very nice thing. Again, I never went to it. I never got an invite, and I feel hurt by that. I'm butthurt.
I can't believe you never were at one. I am shocked.
And if I was, I don't remember it, so it doesn't count. So I'm going to give you 2 points though, because I love an audacious event. I love a ritual, and I love, champagne, man, champagning and campaigning. And also my car was the champagne color in high school. So I feel like I have kindred spirits here, which you didn't know that, but now you do. Champagne Honda Accord, called it Champagne Flight. So 2 points to Nathan. Brian, give us your number 2, dude.
Champagne Flight sounds like a line of Jordans that wasn't released yet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right, number 2, I'm calling the deity principle. Now, this is by far my longest ritual streak.
Okay.
1,673 straight weeks.
What?
Of never attending church intentionally. Now, that is 32 years of life, straight weeks of never having to go to church. Wow. And it's awesome. Wow. Now, I think there are 2 funerals and a wedding that were completely out of my hands in there.
Okay.
But it wasn't intentional. I didn't go there because I had to. Yeah. So now you want to go to church, mosque, synagogue? Fucking have at it. But you can't make me break my ritual streak of not going.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the alleys behind churches, great place to find cats, dogs, possums. Now, who am I sacrificing these to? I know you want to, as we were really getting to, since I have this deity principle. Zeus, of course. He's the original big bearded dude in the sky, 57 sexual partners. That's a lot of animal blood that this guy has to send to his hog to keep it running, all right? He's transforming mistresses into cows to hide from his wife. He himself is turning into a swan to fuck some chick. He's like flinging dudes into the stars to make consolations. This is so much blood. You have to, oh my God. This is so much blood to run this guy. You have no idea. So get him up on a rock, feed Zeus. This is all I gotta say, man. Keep that fucker running, bro. That's what I've been here to say this whole time.
Love it. Wow. You're doing the Lord's work, but not in his house. I love that so much. Good for you.
Yeah, man. This is Lord's house, baby. Welcome to Zeusland. All right. I have so much stake in Zeus because it makes as much sense as any other option out there.
We've discussed two churches this episode, or I should say, worship sites. Zeus and Michael Jordan, both very powerful. I like that. 3 points for you, Brian. Good job. Nathan, you got 2 on that one. Now, guys, it's getting near the end. Our number ones. I need to hear them. Don't lie to me. Tell me what you wrote down. Nathan, you go first.
All right, this is true. I swear, this is
okay.
This is true. Hand to God,
okay.
Hand to Michael Jordan, hand to Zeus.
Okay.
My number one is Sci-Fi Friday Night.
I was hoping you were going to say stir fry Friday night, because then I'd be like, yeah, baby. No.
No,
too many veggies,
I'll tell you what was eaten for many a Sci-Fi Friday night. You could have a chicken and broccoli casserole made by my grandma Betty, or oftentimes it would be hot dogs cooked over a fire at my grandparents' house, because that is where Sci-Fi Friday night was enjoyed by myself and my cousin Andrew and my sister Laurel. And so Sci-Fi Friday Night aired on Iowa Public Television. And it started off at 10:30 with this guy in a brown suit who was like on a screensaver on this chair, like floating in circles. And he would introduce every one of the programs. And the first one was always Jack Horkheimer's Stargazer. And Jack Horkheimer talked like this, and he kind of looked like Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy. But he would stand in front of a green screen, and he would tell you what constellations are going to be in the sky this week. And Jupiter will be passing, blah, 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 and just tell you what was happening up in the celestial realm. And then it was only a 5-minute program, and then it would always end with, I'm Jack Horkheimer. Keep looking up. And then we would go back to the guy in the chair who would be spinning around. And then he would introduce Red Dwarf, the greatest sci-fi comedy show ever made. A British show, absolute shoestring budget, very endearing, having a high concept sci-fi comedy. And clearly everybody was made out of styrofoam and paper mache. And you could, if somebody sneezed, the sets of the spaceship were likely to fall over. But an absolutely hilarious, brilliant show. It is me and my cousin's all-time favorite program. We actually have a spreadsheet we're working on where we are ranking all of the episodes of Red Dwarf with our favorite moments. So when we have our next big weekend together, we're going to watch all of our favorites. And
is it labeled Return to Virginity?
Basically. But it was perfect because it was every Friday night, and at the time I think there were exactly 52 episodes of Red Dwarf, so you could just restart it every year. You just loop around. And then
kind of perfect.
After a half hour of Red Dwarf, we go back to the chair guy, and then he would introduce a classic episode of Doctor Who from the Tom Baker era, which had even less money and even more convoluted sci-fi. And that was Sci-Fi Friday Night. Now, sometimes we would be there on a Saturday, and that meant it wasn't Sci-Fi Friday Night, but it was 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 episodes of The Red Green Show. The Canadian classic comedy that went for 15 years, and every episode was exactly the same. So that was possibly even more ritualistic. But Sci-Fi Friday Night, that was my favorite.
Oh man. This gives me warm feelings. I'm really happy you guys were close enough to the Iowa border to pick up, Iowa Public Television. That's awesome.
Best thing to ever come out of Iowa.
I'm guessing it's like 40 miles from the border and it starts to go fuzzy.
Yeah, that's about right.
Which would feel kind of sci-fi in and of itself. You're watching, it's just kind of like,
Oh yeah, it would come in and out.
snowing out. Oh my gosh. Do you remember it?
Where are you from? I don't know. Kind of on the border of the Iowa Fuzz and the Illinois Standard. I don't know.
Yeah, depending on the weather, we were really at the mercy of the weather on a Sci-Fi Friday night because it would interrupt the TV signal. Because this is through the antenna. This is my grandparents didn't get cable or dish until I was much older.
Yeah. How many years did you guys do this ritual? You think?
Oh, it probably a good 4 years.
Wow. And Laurel was cool enough to hang out with her younger brother, her like annoying younger sibling.
she definitely was.
Oh, okay.
Although my grandma probably made her like clean up stuff while Andrew and I didn't have to do anything because that was the world my grandma was from. It's like, well, the women have got to clean up the housework now. My poor sister.
Get those boys some ice cream sundaes, stat.
Jesus.
This is very sweet, Nathan. I love this number one. I've actually been in the house. I think that you would have been watching this in, so yes. I can transport myself there. You didn't need to give me a ton of specifics because I've been there. I know this house. I've smelled that living room. I know what you as a little boy were doing. It's very important. So that sounded.
Don't take that sentence out of context. All right.
Okay,
another T-shirt,
Brian. Suck on that, wet boy. All right, give us your number one.
Number one. My number one weekly ritual, which is actually my favorite ritual, and I do look forward to this one.
This better be good. This better be good. All right, keep going.
It's editing, you fuckheads.
Oh!
100 fucking weeks in a row, at least 90% of the time, I'm in a dark, gloomy office trying to put this shit together, and I am cutting your ums, your stammers, your trail offs, but mainly my jokes that don't land. And you know what? That's okay. Been doing it for 90 plus episodes, gonna be doing it for a bunch more. And I've already thrown myself under the bus because I am the worst offender, especially when I'm listening to myself talk into this very microphone. So,
Brian, I think you've earned yourself a rim shot. You know, tell a joke, bam, rim shot yourself. Go for it.
You know what happens when you fall on a tongue? It's a true rim shot. Hey-o! That's off the old top of the noggin right there. How you like that?
You are disgusting, and I love it.
I'm a wet boy. What are you expecting? I'm 2 Bud Light Limes deep. I got my finger on the soundboard. This is what you're gonna get. Do
you have any memories of like a particularly tough edit job from the past 100 weeks?
There have been a couple. I mean, if you look at the run times from when we started to now, now we keep it to usually a tight 60. There is one that we did not edit that we left. And I believe it was the parties you wish you were a haunts you wish you were a party to.
Oh God. Yeah. That one was a long one.
It's like 145. Yeah. It is a long episode that no one sat through.
Yeah.
Even though it's a pretty good episode, but it is a long one. It could be a triple parter. You can probably get you to and from work the entire week on that episode.
Yeah. I do remember that episode where like, yeah, there's this house and it's like, dude, it's scary. It's like so scary. You're like, oh, really? Yeah, man. There's people died there. And yeah. There, we weren't able to self-edit as much then, so that is true.
No, not at all. And then I'm gonna look it up because I can't remember which episode it was. Doesn't say what number it was, but it was October 26th, 2020, our first year.
Oh boy,
we are in our 3rd year of doing this.
It's impressive,
which is nuts.
Yeah, and so season 1 was 100 episodes. Are we doing? How many more seasons are we doing?
Well, we have a contract for 15.
Okay. I was like, we're already in syndication at 100, so we could stop now and rake in hundreds of millions of dollars. But
it's called the My Name is Earl method. Set it up where it's like you have to hit the target to be in syndication and just cash the checks.
Exactly. Very smart. Brian, I appreciate everything you do with your wet fingers to make this show go and to make us sound a little bit better than what we do. So I appreciate that. And this was a good number one. This is very nice. You know what? I'm feeling really generous, which I don't normally do, but I'm giving you both 3 points there. So good for you guys. Feel good about yourselves. Yeah. Woo! Let me just do some quick math add up here. Nathan, running it down from your 5 down to 1, you scored 3 and 1. That's 4. Another 4 points. A big 4-point unprecedented round. 8. Another 2. That's 10. 3. That's 13. And then the 5 bonus points. That's 18. You're a winner today to Brian's 14. Congratulations, right. Nathan. It is the 100th episode, so I will give you time to do a short acceptance speech if you'd like.
Well, when I found out I was going to go up against Brian, I knew it was going to be a walk in the park, and it proved to be just that. And it's only fitting that I destroy him on the 100th episode, like I will many more episodes to come. Thanks.
I love that confidence. Okay, everyone just chill out, relax. Okay, all right, guys. Those were the lists. Now it's time for the Fast 5. Here we go. Top 5 things I've learned from Über Cinco. Number 5. Where to buy the very best beer and spirits at the very best prices in northern Minnesota. Mike's Liquor in downtown Ely, Minnesota. When flowers aren't enough, stop on by Mike's Liquor. This week we've got Primo on sale for $3.99 a 6-pack. Holy cow! Bring that on the boat and get ripped while you catch those fish. Mike's Liquor. When flowers aren't enough. Number 4. Nathan has either been on a lot of dates with one woman or has been on a lot of women one date at a time. He's too coy to give us any juicies, and that is his prerogative. But I personally choose to believe Nathan has been dutifully connected to one Maureen G. Trottleman since 2007. Maureen, if you're listening, we'd love to meet you. Number 3. Mitch loves a food party in his mouth. Ricotta and olive pizza pie, right? Warm flapjacks with an old man at a diner. Or, in a pinch, a can of Bush's Southwest spicy chili beans, which go great in your family's secret recipe chili. Or served hot over a bed of crispy Tostitos party rounds with a healthy sprinkle of Kraft Mexican blend shredded cheese with a dollop of Daisy sour cream. It's where dinner starts and the party continues. Bush's Beans, it's a magical fruit. Number 2. Brian really could give 2 cold, tiny shits about sports. Like, really, just the saddest little poorly formed but left out in a stiff breeze, tiny shits. That's how little he cares. And he tells us that. And I respect him for how loud he yells it. Number 1. Brian likes to have a project to look forward to. You guessed it, guys. His ship came in, and Brian is sitting pretty in his 3,000 square foot dream home. But what's that smell? Is it wet dog? That can't be. Brian hates pets. That's right, listeners. Brian hates pets. So he can't be your favorite. That's right. Never the man to over ask, because this dream home comes with a project, Brian's favorite. But first, he's got to scrape some paint, shore up the waterproofing along the edges in the basement, and even out the section by the puddle of sludge in the corner. Never fear, Brian takes YouTube to learn about home repair to fix his basement. Just type in how to fix popping on an audio track. This could be good. Oh, a video of a dad pouring cold chicken grease on his sister before she falls in the pool? You son of a bitch, I'm in. Hours pass. Have you guys seen the new trailer from Marty Scorsese? Dude, guys, have you? It's got Bobby De Niro. It's got Joe Pesci. It's got Pacino, Nicholson, DiCaprio, Rylance, Cruz, Leota, the ghost of Rick Moranis, and one lady. Dude, it's going to have a good soundtrack. You guys ever watch Pig's Eye Poker After Dark replays? And the next day, as he slowly sips his Natter Day, brought to you by Busch Light, as he watches the bank scene from Dark Knight again, as he looks over at the other half of the basement unfinished, he knows he'll get to that next week for sure. And that's this week's edition of Über Cinco. Please rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts. And once again, we love that hearty wom, word of mouth. So please do tell your friends, send them an episode, ask them to write a review. We love reviews. Please make it 5 stars. Thank you to the man who's just a little bit taller than I am,
Nathan Hennenfent.
And to the wettest boy I know,
Brian, who knows it's Pesci, not pesky, Ernst.
I had a feeling you'd correct me. I've been Mitch Brinkman, and as Biz Bear always says, Smokey the Bear is a poser. Real bears don't like wearing hats. Auf Wiedersehen, and adios.
You've just listened to Über Cinco, a production of UBK Studios. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your fine podcasts from.
If you like what you hear and want to support the show, please visit our Patreon site at patreon.com/ubkstudios. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and the bill collectors at bay.
Keep tabs on us on all the social media at UBK Studios, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see that we really are just a bunch of good Midwestern boys.